set up and use custom fonts inside of your React Native project that is managed with Expo. I've already written all the code as usual, so I'm just going to kind of go through it and copy and paste, and I've already written out all the steps which I'll be using during the video just to help speed things up. And you can find these steps in this file on the GitHub repo that's listed in the description. Excuse me 1 second. So yeah, it's not like normal React where you can just import your fonts into CSS and use them like you would in a regular web page. Here you got to do some finagling and installing and all that stuff. So first thing we'll have to do, go ahead and install our packages, and I've got this training environment set up, so I'll just do it over here. I don't think I've installed anything yet. And my internet's really slow, so you might see me skipping through the video as these things are installing and loading. And we're installing Expo font because that's just the library that manages the fonts in Expo, and also Expo splash screen, which is what we'll use to hold the app up from showing until the fonts are loaded completely. You can see it's taking forever here. I've never seen that before, so I don't know what that error is. Looks like it's just using some kind of cached version, so hopefully it'll do the trick. Alright, so we've added that. Next we'll go ahead and take our font file, whichever we're going to be using, and in our case we're going to be using, it's freezing up on me, we'll be using Lobster. So you just take the fonts folder, or the assets folder, and create a font folder in there, and then put your font inside of it. And then here we'll take this code right here, and I'll explain it here in a second what it's doing. And then we'll put it inside of our app.js file. My computer's running really slow. Alright, and all this is doing is just importing splash screen and the font library from Expo font, which will give us the ability to load the fonts asynchronously. And then splash screen is what we'll use to prevent hiding or showing the application until the fonts have loaded. So we got our function here to load fonts. We'll pause the splash screen from being hidden until the fonts have loaded, and it'll await, and then once it's loaded it'll set the fonts loaded to true, and then at that point it'll allow it to hide the splash screen and show the app. And then here we're just calling that function right here, and down here you can see we just have a text component using that font family just to verify that it works. And we'll go ahead and load up this one so that we can see it in the application. And since we're going to be running this in a web application as well, then we'll have to use polyfills, and all polyfills are is a bridge between a Node.js environment and a browser environment. So in our case we'll have to install the crypto library because the browser environment does not inherently come with the crypto library installed. There's more information on the polyfills down below. So we'll go ahead, well actually I'll show you. If we do this, it shows this error. It still works. And to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what crypto's doing in there. But the way to get rid of that error is to install the polyfill for crypto. Then you'll also have to create a fallback file, or a fallback inside of your webpack config. I'll show you what that looks like here. And this is just the function to basically tie into your config and update it on the fly. And what we'll do is we'll get the config from that function, and then we'll get the current value of the fallbacks. If there isn't one, then we'll get an empty one. We'll start with a fresh one, and then we'll add fallback for crypto, so that if it can't find crypto, it'll use this version instead. And that's the webpack config. And you just put that in your main folder. And pay attention, there's 2 dots here, not just one. It messed with me a little bit. I wasn't paying attention when I first put it in there. And then just copy that over there. And now the error is gone. And that's how you use the polyfill. But yeah, that's it. That's how you use custom fonts. You can see it in the web version. It works as well. There you go. Custom fonts in your Expo project. If you got anything out of it, let me know. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. Follow the channel. Subscribe. Everything. Everything you can do to help out. It's just a click. Anyway. Deuces.